Hello and welcome to this introductory session of Heartfulness. We are living in an unprecedented times where in the last several months after COVID has become the normal state of the world with the lockdown, there has been an increasing level of anxiety, of mental stress, which we've all been experiencing. And there's this definitely an unprecedented crisis. I mean, it's been probably 100 years since we have experienced something like this, and none of us have experienced this before. How do we deal with such a situation? How do we really build our inner abilities and develop resilience to face this crisis? That is what today's session is about. In the context, I thought it would be good to. Um, I was searching for a symbol for this topic of resilience in a crisis, and I found this picture on Google, which is a tree that is growing in a Sahara desert, where even one thimbleful of water is difficult to come by. This tree has found not only found it possible not only to germinate but actually grow into a full-fledged tree. How can we be like this? So we thought we were going on a journey. Everything was cool. Well, there were challenges, but we were moving ahead at a pretty fast clip. And suddenly, come 2020, we were in the midst of this kind of crisis. So whenever we face external challenges, there are demands that are placed on us. It kind of gives rise to and also triggers inner complexities in the form of stress, in the form of anxiety, it uncertainty, fear about what tomorrow will bring, how we will cope, and so on and so forth. It leads to a lot of irritation, tempers flaring, between husband and wife, between colleagues, between friends, and this is the kind of challenge that we kind of are facing today. So in this kind of context, would it be of value if, let's say, we are able to learn tools and techniques with which we're able to start the day with focus, with energy, with positivity, and we find tools that even if we are disturbed, like we can close our eyes and, let's say, reinstill within ourselves a state of calm and peace at the end of the day, like when perhaps we've had a long day, and because the differentiation between work and life is getting blurred, how it would it be of value if we can relax and unwind and reset ourselves at the end of the day and really leave the emotional baggage associated with work at work and not carry it back to our homes? And what if we were able to sleep better, right? Would it be of value, right? And if the answer to any of this or all of this is yes, then that's what this session is about. But the bigger question is, like, how do we build these qualities? Let's take it up in a couple of parts. So if you're talking about all this has happened since the onset of COVID, the question which begs to be asked is, was everything okay before COVID? Over the last several years, 6, 8, 10 years, the word stress has been increasingly used in the corporate context. Stress is everywhere. It's become the least common denominator. It is not only at the employee level or at the managerial level, it's also at the leadership level. In fact, there is so much stress, like, that it is severely impairing productivity, enthusiasm, engagement at work. And it's really leading to a lot of loss of productivity. So even before COVID, perhaps this is what our lives were like, right? Many times, like, many of us have felt like, that work or the demands that are being placed on us is quite overwhelming. And now on top of it, even further, okay, we're being burdened, okay, to actually manage COVID, right? How do we cope? So we obviously, now something needs to shift, something needs to change, okay, if we've got to build these inner qualities, okay, this inner strength for us to be able to build that resilience within us, right? So we definitely have to work on it. But now with COVID, perhaps, like, the journey's just got a little tougher. Okay, but is it possible? I can say with my experience, right, that absolutely it's possible, right, that all the necessary tools and support are available for us to achieve this inner strengthening of ourselves, to build this resilience within ourselves. The only question that remains to be asked is, hey, are you willing to walk the journey? Do you have enough interest to invest in yourself, invest the time that's required in yourself to build this inner resilience, right? So that's what I wanted to mention in the context of the current context of COVID. right? And where most of us find ourselves in, right? So let's take the next step, right? In terms of why is it necessary for us to build this, right? Even before COVID, right? So some data from science, which is very relevant in this context. Did you know that the number of thoughts which any of us, an average human being, has, the University of Southern California has determined, based on EEG, electroencephalograph, and they're able to not only identify how many thoughts you have, when your neurons are firing, but even what kind of thoughts we have. Some interesting data, right? It says that an average human being has between 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. I was thinking, wow, that's almost as many number of seconds we have in a day. Now, not just that, but that they further determined that close to one in every other thought that we have is not even related to what we're doing, which means these are distracting thoughts. It's mental chatter. This is the unnecessary worry or anxiety, right? Which is kind of pulling us away from the work that we're doing. And this one was a shocker. I said that of the random thoughts, like 2/3 of our thoughts are negative, which means it seems as if the human being has a bias for negativity, right? And this was shocking to me because I thought human beings were good, were positive by default, right? But looks like we have an inherent bias to negativity. And what can we do about it? Is it even something possible, right? Because 95% of these thoughts seem to actually germinate from the subconscious mind. Now, if you're going to do something consciously, you can only work on those thoughts which are coming from your conscious mind. But when something is coming from the subconscious mind, how do you even stop these negative thoughts from coming up? What can you do with it? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious, right? That you cannot work at the effort to work at the conscious level, but you need to kind of work really at the subconscious level. Even to be basically happy, to be positive, right? We need training at the subconscious level. And this is really the relevance of meditation. So, heartfulness is one practice of meditation. It's essentially a heart-centered meditation. And there are several techniques that are available. The most basic technique being meditation, which is nothing but an ability to regulate the mind's function and hone it and tune it. Cleaning, it works at the mental level and emotional level. And there are deeper techniques available to bring about inner transformation. But the ultimate purpose of heartfulness is really to see how it can build efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence in each one of us in our lives. So, what is meditation? Let's demystify that. Meditation is nothing but a technique. It is a technique to train the mind. Train the mind to do what? To bring it to a state of focus so that whatever it is that we're focused on, whatever is it that we're supposed to be doing, we can do that for a continuous period of time without being disturbed, without getting distracted, so that that work is done. When we are able to bring focus and completely be in the present body, mind, and soul, right, we absolutely fire at our best. And that is really the purpose of meditation. I'll just dive one level deeper before we stop talking and get to the experience. So, if meditation results in focus, which means that we can also be in states where we are unfocused, but then the other dimension I want to bring the x-axis is that how much effort is it going to take? Okay. So let's start with quadrant 4, the blue quadrant, right? Where if I've got to say that, hey, I'm completely putting in no effort, effortless, but I'm completely unfocused. You can think of, let's say, a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon, even better, right? We are lying on the couch, okay? Perhaps some music is going on in the background, and I'm totally zoned out, right? I'm relaxing, I'm chilled. It is helping me relax. It is definitely good, okay, because it helps me recuperate. So it's good for a Saturday afternoon, but we cannot be like this on a Monday or a Tuesday afternoon. So daydreaming, okay, it is good as long as it lasts, right? When you have the luxury to afford it. But let me go to quadrant 3, right? Where let's say that I want to become focused. I'm putting in a lot of effort, but still I'm not able to get my mind to get to a state of focus. This, I would think, would lead to a lot of frustration, right? And it's a bad place to be in. But what happens, let's say, if I am able to put effort and I'm putting in a lot of effort and I'm do manage to remain focused, right? Quadrant two, the orange one. And this is better. Okay. And this is what we call concentration. Many people say that meditation is concentration. Actually, it is not accurate, right? Because concentration takes a lot of effort. Think about the day before you have a big presentation and you're working till 2 in the morning, or like the day before your exam, your college exam, right, when we spend sleepless nights. This is very concentrated effort, right? I mean, you're really pulling all stops to do your best, but in the process you get so tired, it really takes it out of you, that after the exam, after the presentation, you just come back and crash. So concentration is good, but you can only do it for short bursts of time. You cannot sustain it over a long period of time. Now, is it even possible that we can remain focused, okay, in a very effortless way, right? Where naturally we always able to be present, focused on the current activity 100%. Now, that is what we believe meditation offers. So that's the relevance of meditation. And in today's environment where most of us work with the mind, we're knowledge workers, and we work with our mind all the time, right? Meditation, the relevance of meditation is paramount. I just want to leave you with one additional thought before we get into the experience. Let's say you're looking outside, right? The sun is shining in all its glory, and let's say you put out a piece of paper out there. Is it going to burn? No. There's an abundance of energy which we receive from the sun, and yet it is not good enough to burn the paper. But we've all done this when we were children. Bring a small piece of magnifying glass and bring it to the focal length where the rays of the sunshine falling on that very small magnifying glass is a point of light on the paper. And keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. And you can see that the paper starts burning, right? So, what it shows is that, I wanted to take this example to mention that I believe that every single human being, we have enormous potential. All that is required is for us to bring ourselves to a state of focus, and we can really tap into our true inner potential, right? And that is what meditation is able to offer. So with that, let's go ahead and experience a couple of techniques. The first is relaxation, which really helps us relax our body and mind, which is a stepping stone to meditation. Because if your mind is tense, there's a lot of stress, we cannot get into a state of meditation where we're trying to train our mind. So once we've relaxed the body and mind, then we will go to meditation, which is a technique to train the mind, nothing more. We'll practice for about 20 minutes. So once you've experienced it, you can share what you felt. And this is the very first day, right? And little by little, if you continue over a period of time, we find that we become better and better, and we eventually become an adept. So if in 20 minutes you were able to get a fleeting glimpse of being calm, being peaceful, being still, feeling light, feeling joy, I mean, and if in the very first session you're feeling it, imagine how much more better would it be, if you're able to do a little bit every day. So our ask is that, hey, invest in yourself, take some time for yourself to build your inner qualities, your inner strength, your resilience within yourself, right? Because once we do that, the external life, it imposes no challenges to us. So why don't you try the day, start your day with meditation? So that's it. Thank you for attending this session. When it comes to heartfulness, okay, if you're interested, there are several programs that we offer to corporates. It could even be a 10-minute relaxation experience for people in a large town hall. We have leadership development programs. We have programs for high stress teams to really help them de-stress and do emotional detox, and to build their focus and teamwork and harmony. We have it for freshers who join the company. We have a social media campaign for youth. And we also offer a meditation and yoga on live stream, okay, on Facebook and YouTube, so that not only you can benefit, but your families can benefit as well. There are many ways in which you engage, but really, how far do you want to go on the journey depends on how far do you want to pursue it yourself. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye bye.